Hello. It's me, I'm here. It's time. Hello. Time for more of Final Fantasy XIV. Waiting in line as always. Last time we did a lot of things, I think. But we're still in the middle of a quest to go and defeat Titan. So this time, hopefully we'll do that. Or I might just do a whole bunch of everything else instead. Who knows? It's impossible to say. We ended last time by unlocking the next dungeon in the main quest, which involves cheese. So I'll just go ahead and immediately sign up for that. Goblins and cheese. I had a weird thought yesterday where, given how much Brayflox is about cheese, I could have made her voice something trying to imitate the voice of Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. Because, I mean, if you think about it, the main character fills Gromit's role pretty well by not speaking at all. I don't really remember what Wallace sounds like that well, though. And I'm hesitant to do an exaggerated accent. Cream the rabbit. Oh yeah, she does care about cheese. This is true. I don't remember what she sounds like either. I don't think I have the ability to do a Cream the Rabbit sort of voice. So, as usual, we'll probably be in line for a bit. Who knows what else we can do in the meantime? Such is the peril of playing as a DPS class, as we all know. I suppose we all know this? I don't know. That gate's got a badger on it, because it's the Blue Badger Gate. I don't know if I ever noticed that the gate has a picture on it. It's a pretty good badger. Yeah, there's not a whole lot that can really be done while waiting. Probably. We can go to places that we shouldn't be yet. But, yeah. I will just wander around. This might be a little bit more of a low energy sort of stream. Not that I'm ever super high energy. But we'll have to see how it goes, I suppose. I can pick up another thing over here while I'm here, I guess. Because Sucro has gotten several promotions off camera. Ah, Sergeant Funk. Doing the Twin Adder proud as ever, I hear. You've arrived at a most opportune time. House Dismail of Ishgard has requested our assistance with a matter of some import, and I've decided that you're just the woman for the task. Your mission, in brief, to travel to Dismail Darkhold and purge the subterranean fortress of Voidsent. See to your preparations and make your way to the central highlands of Kurthus. Once there, you should find the Darkhold without much difficulty. Ophelia, a knight in the service of House Dismail, will meet you upon arrival and brief you in greater detail. I await word of your success. That's another dungeon we have access to. So I'm Sergeant Funk now, by the way. I'm not sure how I got Dismail out of that, but that's what it feels like it should be. Desmael? I don't know. The trouble with fantasy language word is that it's impossible to know how to say it correctly. I suppose we can shuffle over and talk to Ophelia while we're here. While we're waiting, rather, because we're not there yet. Here we are again in Kurthus, a place we're sort of not supposed to be yet. Oh, never mind, we're not in Kurthus, we're in the Cheese Tunnel. It's not a tunnel, we're in the Cheese Land. Ray Flox's Long Stop. Land of Goblin. Dusk Ulasil. That's a Dark Souls. The other DPS is asleep. I can't blame them. I suppose I can wander in the direction of dialogue. Yep, other DPS was too asleep. Let's try that again. By nature of being a cat, multiple promotions are acquired at once. Seems reasonable. I bet there's at least one player character named some NPC. Welcome to Brayflox's Long Stop. Our party members today are Jean Lachance, Sulking Tofu, and Zark Cress. We are still a samurai, but we are only a few levels away from where I can get Dancer. I will probably want to finish the samurai quests leading up to 60 before I get Dancer, just as some extra bit of that storyline. I don't think our tank has done this dungeon before. But I don't remember it, so... Tank, please. We're having a problem. Well, I didn't go bad. It went fine. Admittedly, I don't remember exactly where we're supposed to go. I guess we talked to this goblin pathfinder. Ah, my map is still displaying something completely unrelated to what's happening. At lower levels, Samurai AoE is really bad feeling. Like, I think this is technically a better idea than to just single target. After I use single target to get buffs, of course. But it just feels like I'm not doing a lot there. Samurai doesn't get an AoE combo until 35, and this dungeon puts me at 34. Anyway, time for a boss fight. Oh, I messed up. I forgot I already have, like, 7 as well. So I can, like, do this. Probably not necessary to defeat all the extra enemies here. Also, that boss was called a Great Yellow Pelican, and I don't think it looked a whole lot like a pelican. Kindly Uplander, Gummyflock needs quick hand lending. Proceed further in. Seems the tank has decided to pull many things. Hey, wait a minute. This tank is just a gladiator, even though she's level 33. You can unlock Paladin at 30. Why is this tank still a gladiator? Well, she's dead now. Well, I'm dead now. Yeah, she hasn't unlocked... She's level 56 Archer without unlocking Bard? Does she know about job quests? I'm concerned. Because the game tells you you can do those. Oh no. I don't want to say it's willful ignorance or a self-imposed challenge of some kind. I don't want to assume why this person has no job, class, unlocked things. Like, I always mix up class and job because, yeah. I mean, it seems like at least Gladiator might be adequate. I think they call the starting things classes and the upgraded things jobs, because the job is the classic Final Fantasy term. So, like, Archer is a class and Bard is a job, I believe. Later, when they started making more jobs, they don't have associated starting classes. The fact that classes exist at all is just kind of a relic of old game design that they can't really revise out of the way because of how everything is coded and designed and whatnot. I think I need to kill this. If I remember right. Yeah, it's kind of a Scooby-Doo situation. Seems like we're getting by okay. Up my mic volume relative to the game. These are the volume settings I've been using for the last every stream. So I don't know what's different, if anything. I can lower the game, I cannot really... I mean, I guess I can sort of increase the mic. I'm worried about increasing the mic because I think it will sound bad. I just increased the microphone a little bit, but it's probably going to pick up more background noise or whatever now. Well, okay. Maybe it's fine. I mean, I am more low energy, so that much is true. Oh boy. Part of me wants to make sure this tank knows how to unlock a job, but I also don't want to assume anything. These are good creatures. That's true. I'm frankly surprised that the game allows you into dungeons like this when you are only a class. Like, your equipment is all fine. Actually, you could have more dedicated tanking equipment as well. I don't want to put this person on blast or anything. they're dead again. Oh, and the server had a little bit of no shield. Tank died again. Alright, we made it to the second boss. Hopefully this won't be too bad. Oh, right. This bit. I forgot I could attack my own bubble if I'm stuck in it. I thought once you were put in a bubble you couldn't move. I guess not. Anyway, you might be thinking, oh, this boss is actually dying pretty quickly. That's because, surprise. The boss just gets flattened by another one. And then once you hit this guy enough, they leave. Because that's the actual final boss of the dungeon. It's a fun bit, yeah. Remember that this whole dungeon is to get cheese. Somehow. If you do this level, or if you do this dungeon without the level sync, so you're way more powerful than you're intended to be for this, I believe that previous boss, I think they get held at like 1 HP so that the other boss can drop on them and kill them. I don't think you can actually kill them early, but I might be wrong. I might be misreading. this is an optional thing. I'm pretty sure. But I guess we're doing. Dungeons, as the game goes on, tend to actually get more linear. Because earlier, like, non-linear, weird dungeons end up being confusing more than interesting. And instead of, like, having weird dungeon layouts, they start just having more interesting boss gimmicks and stuff instead. I'm pretty sure. We're almost out of this one. We're almost to the cheese. The question is, how many tries is this boss going to take us? Because this boss is a gimmick. A little bit. The gimmick is that the boss will spit a big old pool of poison, and while the boss is standing in the poison, they regenerate health. And also you take damage because it's poison. So you have to know to pull the boss away from the poison. Basically. It's also good if you move out of the AoE, probably. Okay, so the boss targets a specific person and uses the poison. I forgot about that portion of it. The tank is just not avoiding things. Like she did avoid that one. Almost at the limit break. Honestly, you can probably just do it. And we did it. That was worrying as an experience overall, but we managed. I'm going to commend the other DPS. And here's Goblin. Braveflox has come to give goodly Uplander Gobby hand blending or whatever. Except we're kind of already done. Gobby who? Thunderclaw is blood and bile. Oh, Brayflox is taking credit, it seems. Very well. Oh, hey, I got a commendation. I did my best with the tools that I had to assist our troubled party. And now I'm over here. Because I need to unlock this dungeon over this way. I'm probably not going to do this dungeon right away, but it would be good to have it. Hello, Ophelia. Wah, who goes there? Oh, you must be the reinforcements, I beg your pardon. Recent sights have left me as skittish as an untrained chocobo. Dismail Darkhold. The name itself sends a shiver up the spine, does it not? The place has been infested by all manner of fearsome void scent as of late. Why, I've even heard word of statues come to life. While we Ishgarians pride ourselves on seeing to our own defenses, the threat this time is simply too great. You'll see to these abominations, won't you? I will eventually. Now, time to go back to Brayflox. You ever drink water and it just tastes weird? That's weird. You ever drink water? End statement. Question. Highly relatable content. We might be close to Titan by this point. Goodly Uplander has thinks of Gabbyflock. Flighty Beast was tricksy foe, but Uplander outwitted with plans making. Uplander has goodly head for fighty think. Brayflox happy gives tasty fresh gobby treats to clever Uplander. Jesus, stinky sweet gobby treat. Special make with secret gobby arts. No party complete without Gabiguda, Brayflox, every say. Thank you, Brayflox. This cheese is some stank cheese. But everyone knows that cheese must needs be smelling in order to be considered fancy. It's just a fact of cheese. I know basically nothing about cheese, to be honest. Sometimes cheese is good, sometimes cheese is bad. This person's name is Heathen Tarask. I gather you solved Brayflox's little problem. The pungent odor of this hard yellow cheese veined with blue-green mold is most comparable to the warm, damp boot of a zombie after stepping in ripe chocobo dung. Goblins claim it's a delicacy, but then again, they have their masks to filter out the aroma. Fair. By the gods, that unholy stench! This is definitely goblin cheese. Judging from the smell, this should be quite flavorful. How is it made? It's best you remain ignorant of such things. I still remember when I learned what kind of milk they use. I won't ask any more questions, thanks. Can I fight Titan yet? What do you mean you forgot the wine? Bravo, Sucro. Thanks to you, our guest shall be honored with a marvelous banquet. But what good is an exotic feast without an equally exquisite aperitif? Luckily, I know just the person to ask. Make your way to Wineport and seek out Shamani Lomani, another former member of the company. All you have to do is give him this order slip. He'll take care of the rest. And if you're wondering if this is merely a ploy to test your patience, I assure you I do actually need that wine. And while you're there, give Shamani Lomani my regards. I think it's pretty funny that they went to the effort of going back to the old portion of the game, as in this portion, A Realm Reborn, and like trimming out and cutting a lot of filler and stuff, but they left in the Titan series of quests entirely without a single change. That's just kind of incredible to me. Sweat, grime, and blood. You reek of blood. An adventurer, unless I'm mistaken. What brings you to Wineport? I need wine at Wineport. I'm also a cat. An order, let me guess. A request for the finest vintage I can muster. Paper smells of loam and perfume. Costa del Sol. And there's also the unmistakable odor of goblin cheese. Yes, Master Gegaruju would not settle for anything less than the best. Deerstwaits and his crew must be quite busy preparing an exotic feast, hence his decision to rely on an adventurer. But perhaps you're confused. This display of deduction was not intended to impress you. When one loses his vision, he's forced to compensate in other ways. But you've no interest in my affairs. You only wish to discuss the wine, I suspect. I do wish to discuss the wine. What? Where am I going? Why am I going? I accidentally teleported 5 feet almost. An offer you can refuse. Life can be so delightfully unpredictable. I always had a passion for wine, but it wasn't until I was forced to retire that I could pursue it as more than a mere hobby. It wouldn't have been possible if not for the savings I amassed during my time as a mercenary, of course. Say what you will about the nature of that work, none can deny that it pays well. But you grow impatient, and Weisskate must have his wine. Herein lies the problem. Nothing in my possession is of sufficient quality for this occasion. The best vintages in town are hoarded by Bergleint, who owns and operates the largest winery in Vilbrand. Somehow, I doubt he will be receptive to your request, but given these circumstances, we must need beg his assistance. It continues. The wine. is delaying us. Alright, beer glint.
What rank amateur bottled this wine? The impurities have rendered it nigh undrinkable. Dismissal is too good for the man responsible. He should be made to drink every drop of his polluted swill. What is it? I'm in the middle of an important discussion. I do not care for interruptions. That neophyte Vinter bid you to speak with me? Ha! Neither you nor your friend has the palate to appreciate the subtle qualities of my private stock. I would sooner serve you Gubil urine than sell you my worst vintage. Be gone from my sight.
Well, you're a shit in the fuck, aren't you? Well, can't we just say it's for the stupid eccentric rich man? I take it he said no. Really, in those words? Well, I cannot say I'm surprised. While there's no denying his passion and skill, the wine baron of Limsalominsa is not a man known for his tact. Very well, we shall have to take an alternative approach. Let's kill him and steal all of his valuables. I mean, what? It won't work. This quest is just called It Won't Work. Shamani Lomani has another bright idea. They're leaning into it at this point. There's a chance, however small, that another resident of Wineport can furnish us with a suitable wine. In fact, had you come several years ago, I guarantee this would not be a problem. Alas, the quality of our product has declined significantly in recent years. The only breeds cultivated these days are common lowland vines, which isn't to say that grapes are of poor quality, only that we have known better. Long ago, the vignerons of Wineport crossbred several species and produced a grape-bearing vine of never-before-seen quality. Bacchus grapes were once the pride of this town, as they were used to produce vintages which surpassed all others. This includes the most aromatic, the most complex, the most flavorful of all wines. Aye, the legendary Bacchus wines were born right here in Wineport. Pardon my enthusiasm. You see, I once had the privilege to sample that particular wine. It was an otherworldly experience. In that moment, I felt as though I'd tasted the nectar of the gods themselves. I transcended my mortal flesh and was one with all creation. But as is all too often said, the calamity changed that. The Bacchus vineyards were completely destroyed, along with much of the existing stock of Bacchus wine. What little remains is closely guarded by its owners, for it can no longer be made. If we cannot convince Berglaint to part with his wines, our next best option, as ridiculous as it sounds, is to find someone who has a bottle of Bacchus wine and to offer them every gill we can spare. I've heard rumors that one of the vignerons tending the vineyards might have once owned a bottle. Perhaps you could start by speaking with them. Well, I'm informed from a reliable source, i.e. the name of the quest, that this is not going to work. But I guess we have to try anyway. This is incorrect. Are they in this one? This building? No? Okay, they're back there. Sometimes it can be difficult to tell. How do I get? Guess I'll go this way. What? Do I have Bacchus wine? I wish! I never had the chance to try it myself. Sorry, friend, but you're a few years too late. Well, so far it's not working. But Bacchus wine? Don't remind me. I used to have a cellar filled with the stuff. But I could keep the wine safe from thieves and the elements. Never counted on a bloody primal blowing up my goddamn house. Well, it's not working. Hey, Shamani Lamani. Yeah, very effective gate on those stairs. No luck, Most regrettable, but we had to try. But Bacchus wine would have been perfect for the occasion. Though I must confess, my certitude could be due in part to my personal history with the beverage. It is, after all, the very reason I decided to become a vintner. After Titan blinded me in our battle beneath Ogomoro, I fell into a deep depression. It wasn't until I tasted Bacchus wine for the first time that I realized there was still so much I could experience even in my condition. It helped me to find a new direction in life. It breaks my heart to think that wondrous ambrosia which once filled me with hope may be forever lost to us. Give a man a drink. I must say, this talk of Bacchus wine has made me rather nostalgic. Indeed, there's much I miss about my life with the company of heroes. After everything the captain has done for me, I could not bear to disappoint him. I have no fear. I swear I shall find a suitable wine for the banquet, though I may need some time to think of a solution. In the meantime, there's a favor I would ask of you. 2 years ago, in the deepest depths of my despair, I stumbled across Vilbrand as a vagabond drunk. I suspect I was looking for a place to die, because I very nearly found one not far from here. It was there that a man named Drest took me in and nursed me back to health. And it was he who gave me my first taste of Bacchus wine, which helped me find my new calling. Though I'm still a novice in the arts of winemaking, I'd like him to know that I'm pursuing my dream. This wine is my own original creation, and I'd be most grateful if you delivered it to him in my stead. Drest sometimes works at the Raincatcher Gully docks, so perhaps Ritskilt can tell you where to find him. Either this wine is going to be surprisingly amazing, or this person I'm going to see is going to have some of the legendary super wine. I'm not a wine expert, but this person I've been talking to has only been a vintner, whatever he said, for like a couple years, right? Can you make great wine in a couple years? I don't know how long you have to age that sort of thing in order for it to be considered high quality. Dressed? Oh, you mean the hermit. I toss him a few gil when we need an extra pair of hands. He doesn't talk about himself. I sure as hells don't ask. Ha, their wine. When a man's got a face with scars like that, you best leave well enough alone, I say. If you've a mind to find him, though, then head southwest to the Severed String. Scars on the face, you say? I guess they're not terribly visible in this light, but Sukro does have a few of those. And no one leaves her alone. Everyone's always wanting to make her do errands. One of the many pieces of deep lore that I will need to think of for Sukro is how she got those scars on her face. There's a fate here. This feels familiar at this point. Like, I remember this little house. Hello, Dressed. What?
What do you want?
Shamani Lomani's first attempt at winemaking. At least the name sounds legitimate. Lomani Rosso.
Wine? I didn't ask for this. Who sent you?
Well, this seems to be going well.
Can't sleep. They won't let me sleep. The midges, the buzzing, it keeps me awake.
Hello.
I never wanted to hurt anyone. I won't fight. I don't want to fight. Please make the buzzing stop. Make the midges go away.
Well, this man is suffering from some stress. That's not good. Time to kill Bug. I've just realized that my chocobo friend is not set to the proper stance. Not that it's terribly important. I guess the stance your chocobo is in changes every time you log out. Back to the default. Hey, why are you angry that I hit bugs? Just one more. Hooray! Bugs have been defeated.
It's not so loud anymore. Did you do that? Thank you. You helped me, even after what my comrades and I did to your country.
Ah, thank you for the follow.
We were on a reconnaissance mission when the maelstrom caught us by surprise. We tried to escape, but the others, no one else survived. I didn't ask for this, damn it. I'm not even Garlean. They conquered my lands just like they tried to conquer yours. I don't want to die in some blasted jungle halfway around the world. I just want to go home.
Poor guy.
I wish to thank Shamani for the wine. That was overly kind. Would you be willing to bear a gift back to him? Last night at Red Mantis Falls, I collected the sap from nearby palm trees. If placed in coconut shells and stored for a few bells' time, it makes for a fine wine, see. It should be ready by now. I left 3 shells out there. Please take them to Shamani for me. I'm glad he's moved on with his life. I hope to one day do the same.
Okay, so we're not getting the legendary wine, but we are getting some unique wine. Some tree sap coconut shell wine? Palm wine. Sap of a palm tree fermented inside an island coconut shell. Far more potent than wine made from grapes, palm wine, if brewed for too long, can cause loss of eyesight or even death. Well, this seems like a bad thing to give to the person who lost their eyesight. But whatever you say, video game. I mean, it says if brewed too long. Presumably it has not been brewed for too long. Presumably this is safe. I will go ahead and teleport. Alright, Shamani. It has been some time, Sukro. What news do you have of Drest? Ah, yes, I did recall that he had some knowledge of winemaking. A simplistic but nevertheless effective method that utilizes the natural properties of palm sap. I shall have to enjoy this batch before it spoils. We are not so different, Drest and I, two men who have long struggled not to let our scars define us. I worry that he's been alone with his thoughts for far too long. It's past time I paid him a visit. Thank you for looking after him, Sukro. It was a very good year. By the gods, Sukro, listen. I know you're eager to wash your hands of this wine business, but I've just discovered something extraordinary about Drest's palm wine. He sealed each coconut shell with a leaf which has a very distinct shape and unusual odor. I thought I was going mad at first, but now I'm certain. These are the leaves of a Bacchus grapevine. Do you know what this means? Somewhere in Raincatcher Gully, the legendary vine still grows. If we could obtain a cutting, we could revive the Bacchus wine industry. We must know where Drest found these leaves. Here, take one of them back to him and see what he remembers. We've been on Titan errands for over 1 hour now. This part of the game is rather infamous. Always has been. Still very silly and interesting to me that they didn't change it. Maybe they just, like, couldn't? Maybe they thought there was a purpose to this being in the story? Spoilers for the Dark Knight questline that I don't actually have any personal experience with. But if I remember correctly, part of the Dark Knight is that the main character, your player character's like internal frustrations at just being an errand person for a lot of people and like having to do all this random pointless bullshit, and all that compounded by all of the other trauma they've experienced up to that point is what manifests the power of darkness in them. So maybe this is in because it makes the Dark Knight questline have a reason to exist. I don't know. Oh, hello again. What is it? A broad green leaf from a thought-to-be extinct Bacchus grapevine. It's just a leaf, isn't it? I only chose it because it was pretty. I didn't know it was rare. I found them near the Juggernaut to the south, but I didn't see any grapevines. I saw fresh Gubu tracks, though. Maybe the leaves came from vines growing in the back of one such beast? If you go looking for it, please be careful. Some Gubus are more territorial than others, and you may have to defend yourself. No problem. I'm good at defending myself with a sword lethally. Shesmu. Okay. I am much higher levels in this part of the story. Now we go back to Wineport again. I think there's also an Aleport, now that I think about it. Wineport, Aleport. I think those are the only two. But, you know. Gotta have a port when you've got alcohol, I guess. What did Drist have to say, Sucro? Tell me everything. A cutting from a Bacchus grapevine, a variety of sweet wine grape thought to be long extinct. Ah, ha ha! I was right! The smell, this texture. I hold in my hands a Bacchus grapevine cutting.
Come now, enough of this nonsense. I've heard talk of your discovery, and I refuse to believe that a common adventurer and a novice vintner could... Glare. 12 is my witness. It is a Bacchus grapevine. Wherever did you find this fantastic specimen? What? You would offer this to me, but why? There is none better positioned to reconstruct the Bacchus vineyards than you, Master Berglaint. You have the resources, the knowledge, and the passion to do so. It would be selfish of me to keep this cutting. I never knew you cared so deeply about your craft. Thank you, good sir. I will not squander this gift. In just a few years' time, I swear that every tavern across Eorzea will once again be clamoring for a cask of Wineport's legendary Bacchus wine.
Sir, you needn't... Wait, the shape of this bottle, the scent of this label. This couldn't possibly be... 1547 Bacchus? But that's impossible. This vintage has not been seen since years before the calamity.
It was the crown jewel of my personal collection. For years I debated opening it, wondering if today or tomorrow would be the ideal time. But now I realize that it was never meant for me. It should be savored by the saviors of Wineport, I say.
He's made us an offer we can't refuse. Master Gegeruju will find no finer wine. You forever changed Wineport, Sucro. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity. But do not permit me to delay you any longer. Pray deliver the wine to Captain Waistcoat. I'm a cat. Well, yes, I would very much like to drink it, but I'm a patient man. I have faith that one day I shall have another opportunity to taste perfection. Hooray! We acquired super rare vintage wine and also re-established the super rare cool good wine industry. All in the name of some eccentric rich asshole who is not letting me save the world. Seems like a good reason to embrace the darkness, if you ask me. Always looking for a good reason to embrace the darkness. Stola's just like sitting here waiting. Greetings, Sucro. I thought it fitting that I seek you out and offer my gratitude for all that you've accomplished. Well, okay. Your prolonged absence was beginning to concern me. So what of the wine I asked you to bring? A vintage wine from the year 1547 of the 6th Astral Era. Here's your stupid wine, jerk. Is that 7 hells? A 1547 Bacchus? Even I know how rare that is. I have to admit, I didn't think you had it in you, but congratulations, Sucro. Thanks to you, this will be the most luxurious feast Costa del Sol has seen in years. Considering the lengths you went to, I hope our guests appreciate it. Speaking of which, your associate arrived a short while ago. She appears to be growing somewhat impatient. Perhaps you could tell her the banquet is about to begin. And we get a little minion. Has been known to attack kittens for no apparent reason. Gee, I wonder why Y'shtola could be growing impatient of all this tomfoolery. How do you feel about this? In the company of heroes. Y'shtola is concerned for your well-being. You don't say. You have the look of a woman who's been to the seventh hell and back. That a guest should be expected to supply the victuals for a banquet held in her own honor. And this while the shadow of Titan looms over us all. It beggars belief. I can only applaud your stoicism. Had I been asked to endure such ignominy, I fear I should have accepted my lot with less grace. Yeah, you probably would have done that. That's a good grinning shark, though. I'm a cat. Nod. Lady, you... Oh wait, this guy is Hotel Mario.
Lady Y'shtola, Lady Funk! 1,000 pardons for this extreme discourtesy. I was wholly unaware of your true identity, madam. Had I known, I would have never permitted my man to subject you to such unspeakable ordeals.
I don't know if that's actually Hotel Mario anymore, but this is the voice this guy is now officially stuck with permanently. I'm a cat and I'm gonna destroy you. Come now, she must have sensed something was amiss. You didn't seriously think I'd send you running the length and breadth of Eorzea for a banquet, did you? Spare her your mockery, Captain. Your intent was unclear to me until this moment, and unlike me, Sucro has no knowledge of your traditions. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten her. Aye, fair's fair. There's no sense hiding it any longer. We 5 were chosen by our brothers and sisters, and before the company of heroes disbanded, we each swore a solemn oath that any who would follow in our footsteps must be weighed and measured, not by their reputation, but by their deeds. So we sent you on a wild goose chase for a bunch of bullshit, 'cause that's the best way to measure your deeds. Not by the fact that you fucking killed Ifrit. Each man would judge these would-be godslayers by his own criteria. If even one found her wanting, she would be rejected without a second thought. But if she proved herself worthy, we swore that we would do our utmost to support her cause. The world has ever been full of brave souls eager to give their lives for a righteous cause, but all too few capable of making a difference with their sacrifice. To send wave after wave of hapless adventurers into the jaws of a foe against whom they have no hope of victory is worse than futile. Titan is not one to be challenged lightly, and we will not be complicit in the deaths of the unworthy. Which is why the 5 of you deigned to test Sucro with such commendable thoroughness. Time well spent, I'm sure. But tell us, Captain, what is the assessment of you and your fellows? I mean, I guess that's true. You do want someone who's not going to get shitty about doing humble tasks. But considering the urgency of the situation and the fact that the Warrior of Light has already proven themselves to be capable of slaying a primal at this point in the story, this does seem a little excessive and a little bit silly. Mostly because of the urgency. I worry too much. I mean, yeah, I do. That's true. And, like, by video game logic, Titan's not gonna move anywhere until we get to his doorstep. Canonically, in the story, only the player character is the Warrior of Light. Other people's characters are just adventurers, though they are all the Warrior of Light in their own story. She's a brave one, that much is certain. She willingly walked into the midst of danger, despite my repeated warnings it could cost her her life. Her skill is undeniable. She stalked her prey as relentlessly as any child of the sands, and struck with precision when an opportunity presented itself. Too many adventurers these days care for only fortune and glory. Sucro, however, is a kind and generous soul. I'm certain she has no shortage of loyal allies who will gladly fight at her side. Wily Uplander is talentful plansmaker, tricksy foe for a mighty rockman.
I can only concur with my colleague's assessments. We 5 of the Company of Heroes hereby judge you a worthy challenger. Cast down the Lord of Crags, Sucrofunk, and write a new chapter in the history of Eorzea.
I mean, that's also fair. Nod, but like, eye narrow.
With the formalities out of the way, let the festivities begin. Summon the dancers, pour the wine. Eat, drink, and be merry, my friends, for today we celebrate the birth of a new legend, Sucrofunk, Titan's Bane.
Sucrofunk, Titan's Bane, yeah, she's a cat, woo! And thus people did stand around. Nod. Well, Y'shtola seems a little bit okay with all of this, after all. Okay, she still says the same thing. And now I am to speak with the dancer. Apparently. Yeah, this is Gegaruju's favorite thing, is scantily clad dancing cat girls. And I don't like him for this. Seeing everyone like this again brings back such fond memories. I wonder if any of them would be interested in reforming the company. Let's talk to all of these people. Tasty fresh treats are plentiful in Belly of Brayflocks. I'm glad you're having a good time. It feels wonderful to be with the others again. I wish this day would never end. I was wondering why there was a chocobo standing there until I remembered that that's what happens. Please conduct yourself with dignity whilst visiting Costa del Sol. If you behave inappropriately towards other guests, I may be forced to carry out punitive action. That's a generic line. It has been too long since I last set foot outside Forgotten Springs, passing the time with old friends and old wine. Aye, today is a good day indeed. Thank you, Cat Dracula. Alright, what do you want, though? Congratulations, sweetling. Now relax and enjoy the show. It's only just begun. Okay. Partake of the feast. Oh look, it's exotic feast. It's, well, it's the things that we gathered, mostly, I would assume. Press A to partake in the exotic feast. I love flat texture. It is my favorite food to eat. And then Sucro died. Probably not. I love you too, so there. 8-bit victory theme. Tasting the exotic feast triggers a divine revelation. In that brief, transcendent moment, you glimpse the true form of reality, comprehend its fleeting nature, and cry out to the heavens in celebration. If you say so. Your thoughts are filled with I'm a cat. Perhaps I did eat a star drop. I don't think I have a stamina meat. They actually removed the closest equivalent to stamina from the game, so I'm not really sure. Speak with the members of the Company of Heroes. Well, okay. Ah, Sucro, you brave fool. Promise me that when you meet Titan, you'll look him in the eye and tell him Landinel sends his regards. Titan won't remember you. You kinda suck. Goodly Uplander must be facing mighty rockmen with clever fighty think. Gobbyflock cannot be coming to rescue this time. When you face the Lord of Crags, think not of Limsalominsa, Eorzea, or anything beyond his chamber. Think only of the men and women by your side. Fight for them, and they will fight for you. Remember that no great victory was ever achieved alone. Unless you're a Blethwazar. I guess.
You are a veteran of countless battles, Sucro. This is but one more. Trust in your experience and you will prevail.
Everyone's relatively more positive and nice now that I've done all their shit.
You are blessed with a fortitude to rival the earth itself.
I've never given this guy the same voice twice. I mean, grocery shopping can be a great victory, let's be honest. Things are difficult, even when they seem like they're mundane, simple tasks.
Titan will struggle to break you, I think.
Good to know. Well, for a Blethwazar... Wait, are you saying that killing Titan is just part of a Blethwazar's grocery shopping? Because she has done that before.
You are kind to indulge them, Sucro. This banquet is as much for the company as it is for you, whatever they may claim. I do not deny that they mean well, but now is scarcely the time for celebration. Though they have all but pronounced you the victor, the battle with Titan has yet to begin. The hour has come for the good captain to make good on his promise. We must speak with him again.
Nod. We're getting there. Almost. Mount speed has increased.
You must be eager to face Titan. As promised, we will show you the way. Travel to Bronze Lake in Upper Lanosia. There you will meet with Riel, another man who once served with the company. To ensure that this knowledge does not fall into the wrong hands, he will remain in hiding until you have given the correct signal. Give me your map. You must whistle loudly at the 3 locations I mark. Only then will he appear to meet you at this 4th location. I realize this may seem excessive now, but you will see that it is more than reasonable once you comprehend the risks inherent in our method.
Well... Like, what happens if you get here and you can't whistle? Like, what happens if the Warrior of Light is just not a person who can whistle? I can't whistle. What if Sucro can't whistle? What then? Are we just stuck forever? You ever just soft lock, like, 20 hours into a game because you forgot to learn whistling in the first town? I could get a whistle object that whistles. That's true. Before I do any whistling, I'm going to be right back. I don't have a whistle, but I do have a slide whistle. I don't know if that will suffice for the secret plan of Titan. Regardless, we are back. That is in the name. Well, I guess Sucro can whistle, so we're in luck. I don't know if that slide whistle was sanitized. Probably wasn't. Oops. The things I do for a joke, I guess. How do you sanitize a slide whistle anyway? Well, I whistled in 3 locations. And... Um... Ah, there you are. Greetings, lass. Might you be the one the captain said would come calling? Hey, you seem familiar, actually. I thought so. Pay attention now, 'cause I ain't explaining myself twice. There's Titan. Finally. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere. Years ago, when we was weighing up how to get to Titan, one of our scouts stumbled across this beastman aetherite, see? Eh? What's that look for? Not familiar with him. He speaks of an unamplified aetherite which has been claimed by a beast tribe. Lest you wonder, there's no fundamental difference between such aetherites and those which you've used on countless occasions, Sucro. Ah, well, if it ain't the Charlian lass, welcome back. Forgive me for interrupting. I'd planned to await your report, but I succumbed to curiosity. The tunnels beneath Ogomaro form a bewildering labyrinth that no outsider has ever fully explored. How the company of heroes managed to navigate it is a mystery I have long pondered. Ha! Give us a bit of credit, love. We weren't daft enough to try going in the front. The kobolds are always digging new tunnels and filling in the old ones with traps. One wrong step and the next thing you know, you got 100 tons of rock on your noggin. Suicide to even try, you see? Funny thing was, kobolds didn't seem to have no trouble finding their way around, and it was that got us thinking. I mean, Ogomaro mines are like a bleeding city, ain't they? Getting around in a city that big would be a right pain in the arse if you didn't have an aethernet, wouldn't it? So it stood to reason that the kobolds must have one, didn't it? Even if there were no aetherite shards in the depths of Ogomaro, you would have needed to attune yourselves to them. Or even if there were aetherite shards, before you could identify their signatures within the life stream. Ah, well that's where you're wrong, love. We had the Charlene bloke to help us, see. Delivered us right to Titan's bedchamber, he did. I don't rightly know how he did it, but I do remember him saying it weren't nothing any Charlian scholar with her soap couldn't manage. Did he now? Locating a beacon in the absence of a known signature might be possible if the Aetherites in question happened to be... yes, but in order to guide a traveler to said beacon safely, a second party would be required to... It is possible, in theory at least, yet I cannot be certain until I try. Plainly, all will depend on whether or not I am worth my salt. Ah, you are, lass. Don't you worry about that. Have a bit of faith in yourself. Why don't we all go to Zelma's Run and take a closer look at the Aetherite? It ain't far, though there should be a few kobolds blocking the way. Not you can't handle, mind. Alright. We're getting somewhere. Slowly but surely. As I press every button that I didn't mean to. The Titan quest line in this game is almost longer than the video game called Titan Quest. That's a gross exaggeration. It's probably like a good chunk of the length of Titan Quest, though. Well, there it is. Shiny crystal. Gonna poke it. I poked it. So this is the Aetherite the Company of Heroes used to gain access to Titan's Sanctuary. It is as Papilimo speculated. In its present state, this Aetherite signal will not be strong enough for our purposes. I may, however, be able to use my own energies to amplify it. Alas, the task will monopolize my attention for the duration. It seems you will have to proceed without me, Sucro. I must needs remain here and supplement this beacon's power, lest you be denied your only path of escape. Yeah, Sucro's just batting at the rock like a cat would. Because she's a cat. I'm a cat. Fear not, I will summon the Maelstrom forces stationed nearby to protect us. With effort, it is possible that I may be able to stabilize the Aetherite's signal and thereby join you. Albeit belatedly. Until such time as I do, you'll be on your own. Nod. Now, let us see if I am worth my salt. I've located another beacon, one far below the mountain. I can only speculate as to what you will find there, so stint not in your preparation. It'll probably be Titan. It's Titan. Fucking finally. I must needs remain here to ensure that you have a means of egress. As I told you, we have no way of knowing what awaits you at the beacon, so be sure to prepare yourself prior to departing. Oh, I need to clear a long stop. Having passed the seemingly endless trials imposed upon you by the Company of Heroes, you've been entrusted with the knowledge of a secret way to the navel, the domain of the primal Titan. Courtesy of Y'shtola's magics, the Beastman Aetherite is now primed to send you to a confrontation with the Lord of Crags. Gird your loins for a struggle of titanic proportions. Thanks, Michael Christopher Koji Fox, localization team person. I'm gonna be right back once again real quick while I wait in line. Oh hey, thank you for the raid. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, I was on a slight break. Just a very slight one as I wait in line for the naval. But we're back. Just gonna be waiting here for a bit, so really we're still kind of on a break in a sense. Such is the way of the DPS. Hello. Oh, thanks. Glad to hear it. Glad to see it, rather, I guess. Nice to see it. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, thank you. Thank you's a good thing to say to that. For context, I did play this game before, and I got to some point in Shadowbringers before not playing for a long time. And this is a new character. So I'm replaying through everything. And we are indeed a cat. This is... The server I'm on is Famfrit, which I believe is Primal. My other character from when I played before is on Crystal on, How am I forgetting the name of that server? Balmung. So I do have two characters, and I'm on both data centers. But at the moment, we're on Primal, I believe. I'm being whispered. Thank you for following. I'm not sure who I am being whispered by, actually. Maybe I should know that based on context clues, but no idea. Oh, okay. Hello. I mean, I guess I can participate in this fate one. Okay. Oh, well. Hooray, level 58. I have a number of samurai quests I need to do, but I don't know if my gear is up to par for those, because they seem to be very difficult. And also, once I hit 60, I'm going to pivot to Dancer, most likely. But I do kind of want to finish the samurai storyline to that point, probably. Eventually. Well, there's another fate I can do. Why not, I guess. Oh wait, my chocobo's gone. I wonder how far into the game I'm going to be able to get before Endwalker releases. Because, like, I can't stream super consistently. I've been having trouble with that. I'll probably only be in, like, Stormblood by the time I get there. Maybe? If I'm lucky. Possibly just Heavensward. Also, as soon as Endwalker comes out, I'm going to want to try the new summoner, so I might just stop to do completely unrelated things for a long time. Who knows? I think Endwalker is like the end of next month. I'm not going to skip cutscenes, because I am replaying this to like experience story and things. Because that is kind of why I wanted to revisit it. It's just sort of fun to re-experience all the story, do stupid voices for all the characters, that kind of thing. Complain about characters I don't like. Which is mostly Gekiruju. But, you know. Because we haven't met, like, Adeleji yet, who also is terrible. Seems to be a few frame rate issues happening over on the side there, as I just run around in circles. Don't know why that is. Is this area very intensive? It's fine in the game, it just looks like it's chugging a little bit on the stream. Yeah. I could lower the graphics settings, I suppose. But I don't know. This game is making me consider that I might need a better computer to do all of this streaming stuff at once. But who knows? This wait sure is taking a bit, huh? There's some kind of under the weight joke here because of Titan's theme song, but I sure can't think of it, really. Cat aerobics. Jumping and spinning is important. Oh, there it is. All I have to do is complain enough. Way back in the day, when I first played this game, I mained healer. Oh, never mind. Gotta complain a little bit more. Way back in the day, I mained healer, and that would be a lot faster. But since then, I've become a lot more anxious as a person. And I don't really feel comfortable playing as a healer or a tank at the moment. At least as far as I know. I could try it again. I stopped playing healer because of Odin, I think. Because everybody got mad when nobody could beat Odin. And that was just the way of things. Look, an overdweller! Yes, yes, invader from above! She uses our aetherites against us. She's defiled Titan's sacred sanctuary, trespassed, violated, defiled! Overdwellers must leave, overdwellers must fly! Brothers and sisters, fear her not, her fate shall be decided by the Lord of Crags. Why did they put this cutscene after the queue? Hear me, overdweller, you and your treacherous brethren must be held to account for the breaking of the covenant. You shall be first to face judgment, then Limsalo Minsa and her oathbreakers, liars, betrayers, oathbreakers! O great father, Lord of Crags, Titan, we summon you! Repeat, several times saying that phrase. They could have put this before you had to wait in line. But then I guess you'd just be staring awkwardly at Titan for 10 minutes, be like, hey. So, you wanna fight? It might be a bit, but we can fight. He is come! The Lord of Crags, Titan is come! Overdweller, art thou deaf to their weeping? Thy vile kind coveteth ever the blessing of the land and murdereth my children by the score, all in service to greed. Such sins are beyond pardon. But I'm not the first to suffer their defiance. Thou didst bring Ifrit low. Godless overdweller, thy myriad heresies shall not go unpunished. Upon thee shall I wreak a terrible vengeance. I punch you. So we have Titan. I forgot that this was just a 4-person thing. Sons of man, murderers of my children! Wait, I don't remember all of Titan's deal, but I'm sure I'll do fine. He's not that small, he's a big lad. So let's see, I don't have my directional stuff at this point. We need to... Right, he makes the arena smaller. You have to stand near the edge to take less damage, I think. Titan has like 6 phases or something. That was a mistake on my part right there. This guy's a bit of a... Well, I don't know. He's Titan. This is just Titan. This is just how he is. I mean, Ifrit wasn't that giant either. He's made of rock. He's a rocky lad. Yeah, I think I need to stay as close to the edge as I can without falling off. And then you make a heart, and we have to kill a heart. And then I get put into jail. I am in jail now. If we don't kill the heart fast enough, we just die. Pretty sure. So. Heart's shattered. We good. Probably. Now Titan's gonna tremble before the might of the earth. To the last I grapple with thee. I think I already changed Titan's voice. Now we get to Titan's actual theme song here too. Which doesn't really have comprehensible lyrics so much. Weight of the land. Also, this song is a bit quiet compared to the usual battle music, so I don't know what the deal with that is. I'm in jail again. Why am I always the one in jail? Oh, because the other DPS is dead. They fell off of the cliff. That's the thing with the Titan fight. Yeah, Bow Down Overdweller Titan is the first part. Now they're saying under the weight. So that's the thing with Titan, is that if you get knocked off of the arena, you are dead forever until everybody else dies. There's no way to bring you back. They made things more forgiving later on. Oh, I never even, I could have limit break. Titan said something, but he died also. So I was the sole DPS for that whole fight, basically. I don't know when the red mage went down. The Lord of Crag's great father Titan has fallen! I'm a cat. That wasn't too bad. Time to collect the shiny rock and go into the void realm of colors and element. That's what, the fourth one? Third one. Fourth one. My short-term memory is not very good. The lore reason for other players being there is... The crimes of the Overdwellers shall never be forgotten! Never be forgotten! No, no, never! I think they actually sort of explain a lore reason for why other players are able to help you in dungeons and stuff, like, at the end of the current content right now, so we'll see that in, like, 300 hours. 'Twas your kin who broke the covenant. We have acted only in defense of our lands. Cease your aggression, or never will there be peace. Until our dying breaths, we shall defy you, defy, decry, deny. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of our bad. Meanwhile... Now these are the readings one would expect of an icon. I have seen enough. We proceed as planned. Are you sure that is wise, my lord? Your curiosity is untested and unproven. We do not yet know its true capabilities. Then trust in mine, Retaten. My curiosity, as you so eloquently put it, would have bested Titan in the blink of an eye. Why, if there be a truth to the legends, it could readily subjugate the whole of Eorzea, given but a little while longer. Is that not so? It is. No greater single power has ever been conceived, much less realized. I forgot what voice I was doing for La Habrea, if any. He's got this one now. What you say may well be true, but while such devices may win battles, I do not believe they will serve to change the course of this war. Oh, but they will. Have a little faith, my friend. I cannot endorse this course of action. My shields are also guns. Fool. And now she has a fourth. Fascinating. Carry on, Crystal Bearer. Far though you have come, your work is far from done. Yashtola was here too. And not remain to mark his passing. Well, the Asians are nothing if not elusive. It is of little wonder that they should cast advanced teleportation magics at will. But that they would choose to consort with the Empire. What common goal could they possibly share? And then she used return, or just to teleport, I guess. To over here. Hi. I feared I might arrive too late, but I see you had the matter well in hand. I've taken measures to ensure that we are not pursued, yet I cannot say how long they will hold. Take your leave while the kobolds are still in disarray. I will follow anon. There's something I must investigate before I depart. I will teleport you to the Aetherite in Zelma's Run, and we will rendezvous at Camp Bronze Lake. Agreed? Nod. Alright, let's go. And so we did. Except not, because I'm still here. So, you can just walk off, by the way, also. Now that the duty is complete, I will of course respawn up here, but Titan hates guardrails. This does look kind of like a Zelda boss room. And like there'd be like a heart container right here. And then you would go to the exit to leave the dungeon. Now that you mention it. I don't see a heart container though, so I guess we're just out of luck. And that kind of is the Sage's realm, isn't it? Now that you mention that as well. Not something I thought of. Okay, Ashtola. How are you today? I'm relieved to see you well, but come, let us discuss our next step. Finally, Titan is dead. We were on Titan-related errands for at least 2 hours today. And more before that, besides. All good things. Well, gee, knowing the rest of that phrase, I'm sure this is completely fine. And nothing is coming to an end. The word will already have reached Maelstrom Command. Protocol requires that a representative of our order inform the High Commander of the mission's success. The honor is rightfully yours, Sucro. Once again, I must commend you on a job well done. We shall speak again soon. Pray, return to the waking wait, no, we have to go talk to, we have to go talk to, the Maelstrom Cat. We have to go to Lin Salominsa. I guess I'm gonna push forward with the story for now. Maybe? I do have some other tasks I can see to. I can try again to do the last 10 floors of Palace of the Dead, even though that's still way before where we are in the story. I can do Dismail Darkhold, or however you say that. I can try to do samurai quests. Two levels until we get Dancer. My favorite class. Gamer Bongo Bongo, huh? Now, the interesting thing about Gamer Bongo Bongo is that I see that message in the chat display on the stream, but it took a lot longer to appear on the chat display on the side. This is Bongo Bongo's secret technique. This person is named Salty Meow. Alright. Ra'ashat. Thank you for coming, Sucro. Word of your triumph reached me some while ago, but I'm pleased to have it personally confirmed. I don't think you had, like, a specific voice I was doing. There's a lot of characters, and it's easy to forget what I was talking as, like, with words. First Ifrit and now Titan. Truly, when I think of your achievements, I feel the loss of the Warriors of Light less keenly. And there can be no greater compliment than that. You and your order are heroes. The people of Limsalominsa are forever in your debt. I shall relay the details of your report to the Admiral forthwith. Please send my regards to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Applause. Thanks for the applause, I guess. Let me answer my hat. Sucro, this is Minfilia. Y'shtola has informed me of your success. You have won a great victory for the people of Eorzea, one that shall not be forgotten. And what's more, both you and Y'shtola emerged from Ogomoro unscathed. Why, Tataru and the others seemed as glad as that as they did of Titan's Fall. Titanfall is a different video game. You can look forward to a hero's welcome. We'll be awaiting your return at the Waking Sands. There is much to discuss. Godspeed. Well, all good things. Return to the Waking Sands. That's the famous phrase that we all know. My inventory is full of garbage. I might have to do something about that. I'm glad that they added Vesper Bay Aetheryte tickets to the early stages of the game, but it's also pretty funny that they did that still. What's this card? Well, I guess I got a triple triad card that I forgot to use at some point. I'm sure everything is going to be fine at the Waking Sands. Speaking of Zelda, there's the Zelda music. Don't DMCA me, Nintendo. Tataru's not here. That's a good sign. It's not. And, it's dark. There's a corpse over there. I forgot that this happened this early in the game. And there's foreboding music. Well, let's see, who's unnamed guard? Other people. I don't think I know the names of anyone who's dead. If any of these people. Yeah, some of these people definitely had names. Storage room's a bit roughed up. That guy's gone. Oh boy. I forgot that this happened this early. I thought that this happened a little bit later. is basically every named and unnamed NPC that's not directly important, who's just fucking dead now. And they tipped the vase! Those tasteless fiends. How dare they? More dead people. Neuraxia? This one is glad. Walking one is safe. Oh good, I get to flashback to see all of the people get killed. Thanks, the Echo. Very kind of you, the Echo. Great.
We'll be awaiting your return at the Waking Sands. There is much to discuss. Godspeed. Thank heaven she is safe. Louis Soir, do you see? Your light shines brightly in this one, and in time, it will illuminate the realm once more. Oh!
Oh, it's the Empire. Well, I forgot who was responsible as well. You don't have to shoot the ceiling.
We have come for the one who slayed Ifrit and Titan.
She's not here yet. Come back later.
Bring her forth, and you may yet know mercy.
You're a little early.
Confound it.
Yeah, that's a good response to all of your people getting killed by a gun.
Stay out of sight. I would leave a message with you.
What, the lady with the gun arm? Yeah, I think she's probably supposed to be menacing. Considering she's killing everybody. Oh. Oh, I see.
I surrender myself, on the condition you spare the innocents.
The innocents are already dead.
Conditions? There speaks the Supreme Sire. I'll grant you have courage, but you would be better served by armor.
Search all you will. The one you seek is not here.
So it would seem.
And
Oh.
yet you knew to look here. But how?
Hold that thought.
Jesus.
No!
Conditions of surrender denied.
Cease at once!
That looks a
you
little
not
silly,
done
honestly.
enough?
Perhaps. Enough. We must away. Though we have not found
She does
our
wear
calling,
plot armor.
the High
That's true.
Priestess of the Scions should suffice for now. They say she also possesses the Echo. I cannot wait to hear her scream. I said enough!
Classics of bad guy. Shoot your own minion.
We leave! Bring the prisoners.
love to waste resources for emphasis on how evil I am.
Walking one, Binfilia, ask this one too. In case Walking One returned, this one was to say, at church in eastern Thanalan. Walking One must claim sanctuary. This one tried to protect Walking One, Infilia, from Imperial ones. Forgive this one. Save.
Oh. Whenever you get to see your character, like, react to something with an actual facial expression, it's a lot. Hey, is the gunshot hole there? Doesn't look like it. I don't see it. Just thought I'd check. Yeah, don't kick a sylph. ... If this was Dragon Quest, you'd get the "it's no response." There's no response. It's just a corpse message from that one. Well, and like, look in the journal. They even have this like happy, friendly picture of everybody gathered together, celebrating a victory. I mean, with the quest name, All Good Things, it does kind of communicate that bad things are going to happen, but the picture really does want you to think otherwise. So you're getting mixed messages. And then everybody dies. All the characters you grew to know and love, like, Scion, Armor Outfitter, NPC. But yeah, geez. Anyway, let's go to church. I mean, we do have a lot of people that we need to bury now. So this also serves a practical purpose? That's not a good thing to say. I don't know if that's a good observation to make. I use humor as a coping mechanism. Let's go to church. Okay. Remember that guy at the church? I'm sure that'll be relevant. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time Sucro's been carrying a stack of corpses around. It wouldn't even be the second time Sucro's been carrying a stack of corpses around. It might not even be the third one? It's either the third or the fourth time. Or it would be, if that's what we were doing. It'd be quite something. Hey.
Is something troubling you, my child? You have the look of one who has endured great suffering. If there's anything I can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask.
And here we have a dialogue choice. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Curse my enemies, Father. Call down divine vengeance upon those who butchered my friends. The wild roses are dead, Father, and I know not what to do. Yeah, you get the wild rose, the prompt to drop the wild rose bit in here. Or you can just say nothing. Well, I'm seeking shelter with you on purpose. So you might know the code word, so I'm actually going to say this.
The wild roses? I see. You may speak freely here. We are all friends of the Scions.
Hey, the code word actually... Nothing is the Dark Brotherhood answer. I'm a cat and everyone died.
How could this have happened? And you are certain that Minfilia was among those taken by the Garleans?
Nod.
Let us pray no further harm comes to them.
I wish the game's music was more audible in quiet moments compared to the battle music, except for the Titan music, which was quiet for some reason. I don't know what to do about that audio balance wise. Let us pray no further harm comes to them, though.
You may stay here for as long as you wish. It is the least I can do for a friend of Minfilia's. I have known her since she was but a child. Well do I recall the day of our first meeting. I swore then to do everything in my power to support her, and I will gladly offer the self-same service to her brother and sister Scions. So please, no matter what you require, you need not hesitate to ask. Marquez, would you come here for a moment?
Wait, is this also the voice I was doing for Marquez? Shit.
Yes, father?
I don't remember what voice I was doing for this guy.
If you require assistance, pray speak with Marquez. He's a trifle shy, but I assure you he means well. I should explain, Marquez is a survivor of the Battle of Cartino. Alas, his experiences took a terrible toll upon his mind. Had we not taken him into our care, he would surely have perished in the desert.
He's not going to be Hotel Mario. No! He's going to be Hotel Mario. Well, at least this text box is going to be. Yeah, welcome to my new channel point reward that makes me do the Hotel Mario voice.
Marquez, I want you to look after Sucro. Do you understand?
That's the text box you get. It's one text box.
Yes, father.
Oh no, another one. That's right, you have 1 billion channel points. Oh no, there's 2 more in the queue. The channel points. There's so many of them because they had no purpose for a long time. Well, I guess Marquez gets 2 Hotel Mario text boxes then.
Excuse me, Sucro, do you have a moment? It concerns this broken horloge which was found in the pocket of a man brought here for burial. There's something familiar about it, but just what I cannot say. Perhaps if I tinker with the device, it'll come to me.
There you go.
However, I lack the proper tools to do so. I would ask that you journey to Camp Drybone in my stead to obtain a bull-point chisel and a pair of needle-nose pincers. They are often used by goldsmiths, so perhaps they would be the best people to ask. Of course, I do not expect you to foot the bill. Here, take this coin purse. That should cover it.
A small yet heavy leather sack containing presumably roughly the amount of gil needed to purchase the tools requested by Marquez. Any surplus coin could be considered commission owed to whichever party in the transaction is bright enough to claim it as their own.
If you need a lozenge, check out the enclosed instruction book. Why is this one of the only voices I can reliably do? Kinda.
Such is the power of playing with one's own voice. Anyways. A bullpoint chisel, you say? And a pair of needle-nose pincers? Those things don't come cheap, you know. Have some money. Balls! I mean, yes, that should be sufficient payment. Nice doing business with you. It would seem that we paid too much money. Hey Marquez, why do you have all this money? My brain just put together the phrase Hotel Marquez, or even Hotel Marquesio, and now I'm struggling to process how I feel about that. No, fate is when an event happens on the map, and you have to level sync down to fight it. That's different.
Have you brought the tools I requested?
Unlike carpenter's chisels, which have flat heads, the bullpoint chisel has a pointed one and is used by expert goldsmiths to perforate soft metals. This tool is often employed by goldsmiths or clockwork engineers to seize and manipulate minuscule pieces of wire. That's also true. Gotta jump into that canyon. Fucking Fire Emblem Fates. Christ. So wait, why did you want this specific goldsmithing stuff?
Something occurs to me. Please wait here for a moment. It was for naught. Though I repaired the device easily, the sensation that stirs within me remains a mystery. But how did I do it? These hands, my hands, they moved with a mind of their own, deftly manipulating the clockwork mechanisms. There was no doubt or uncertainty. I knew exactly what to do, as though I'd performed the same motions countless times before. Pardon me, Sukro. This was a mistake. Please give the horloge to Sister Elunid. The man who once owned it is currently in her care, and I think it best that it be returned to him. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. I don't even know what that word means. By some manner of clockwork wizardry, this strange contraption can precisely measure and follow the 24 bells in a single turn of the sun. Oh, it's a watch. It's just a watch. Good day to you, madam. Have you come to pay respects to this man? Never before have I seen such a queer device. You say that it measures the passing of time. Mayhap they are more common in Garlemald. I'm given to understand that its cities are filled with all manner of amazing technologies. Marquez said that it belonged to the deceased. Oh dear, you don't suppose that the owner might have been a Garlean spy? It may behoove us to notify the authorities in Camp Drybone. But, mayhap more importantly, how did Marquez manage to repair this device? I knew he had a talent for the trades, but this goes far beyond mending fences and thatching roofs. I wonder. Oh, I have been wondering this. What happens when I open this weapon coffer as a samurai who does not have a weapon of this level? You get a message saying that it contains gear that you can't use, and it doesn't open. Now I know. Well, I guess I'll open this for someone else. Horloge? Was I saying it right then? I think this is also an old lady. Yeah, it is. I recognize you now, Sukro. Allow me to express my deepest condolences for those who lost their lives in the attack. Thank you for looking it up. I apologize if discussing this hurts you, but you should know that the bodies of your comrades are presently being removed from the Waking Sands and prepared for transport here. Oh good, I was going to ask about that actually. If you wish to leave this work to others, I understand. However, taking part might help you to find closure. I do actually have to go gather all of the bodies. I thought I was making silly joke with my word talk. I thought we were all doing that. But no. Sucro carrying a bunch of bodies under one arm is real, and it's happening right now. That's a bit grim, isn't it? There were a lot of bodies. She's gonna have to balance a stack of them like that one minigame from Yoshi's Story, where you balance like the blocks and they turn into fruits. Except they're all bodies. You don't look like one of them church fellas. Not that I'll turn you away, no sir. As you can see, we got a pile of unidentified bodies over yonder. No one's come to claim them, so off to the lich yard they go. Be thankful you didn't have to go inside and see the carnage for yourself. It was the stuff of nightmares, I tell you. God's damned Imperials. I don't know what quarrel they had with these folks, but I sure as hells don't want to know. Sooner we put this behind us, the better. Say, ain't I seen you around here before? Or do you just have one of them faces? Ah, never mind. Any road, there's a carriage come to hold the bodies to the lich yard out by the east gate. There's only 8 left to load up, but seeing as I'm exhausted from carrying all the others, I have a mind to leave the remainder to you. Might want to cover your nose while you work. Some of these folks starting to turn. Well. Got a great pile going on over here. Maybe this will be a more like part-time UFO, where I have to balance them all. Scion Corpse. How you're able to fit the stiff Scion of the Seventh Dawn corpse into your bag is a mystery best left unsolved. That's the actual item description. I knew they had to do that eventually. Well, I guess we're only gathering 4 of them. Yeah, we really... I mean... I just realized that the size of the corpse determined how long it took me to pick them up. Like, the Rogadin took extra long, and the Lalafell was a very fast interaction. We don't even get to carry Noraxia, like the one person that we, like, personally knew. Not yet, anyway. Maybe we can only carry 4 bodies at a time. Disconcerted coachman. What happened to the big fella? Ah, forget it. Just bring the next batch and talk to them in the back. Ain't like they'll complain if you're rough. Ain't you a strong one? 4 in one trip? Reckon there's no need for me to lend you a hand with the rest, then. Sucro is very powerful. I mentioned before when picking up bodies in this game that it reminded me of a bit of, I think, Neverwinter Nights, where you could pick up bodies and they took up like 4 spaces in your grid-based inventory and weighed like 90 pounds or 100 pounds or something. So, by D&D rules, Sucro's carrying capacity is probably at least 400, unless we could work out what her strength stat is through backwards math. If we really wanted to, for some fucking reason. I don't know why I swore there. Swearing is just something I do constantly. Scion Corpse, same description. Noraxia's corpse. The sylph's peaceful expression belies the fact that she no longer lives. They do give that one a unique description, huh? Well, now they're a pile. Now you can see the pile. Come on, let's finish this before I die of old age.
You're having a grand old time, aren't you?
Should be all of them. Thanks for the help.
Reckon it won't take too long to deliver all the corpses to the Lich Shard. Even so, you might want to hurry back and tell them that our work here is done. And now you can see all of the corpses piled up in here. Well. It's quite a pile of bodies you got. I forgot about this part of the game. Like, I forgot that this happened now. I forgot that you had to cart all of the bodies. Like, this is a good use of the game taking a lot of time to get you to a next objective. Just really letting all of the... really just, like, letting all of it sink in. And having you interact with what happened in a more, like, direct way. Between seeing it and then seeing the flashback and then having to haul the bodies yourself. Like, geez. Even this part of the game has some really effective stuff in it. I think it's commonly agreed that the story doesn't truly start picking up until, like, the end of A Realm Reborn, moving into Heavensward. But even A Realm Reborn has some bits that are pretty strong storytelling, I'll say. Like, jeez. All I can say is, like, geez, apparently. Hey, you still haven't buried this one body in the time it took. I see you decided to heed my advice. I pray that in doing so you found some small measure of peace. The first carriage from Vesper Bay arrived not long ago, and we've begun preparing your comrades for burial. I had a hand in the initial rites, and I would like you to know that for many, death came quickly. Rest assured, we will treat them with the utmost respect, and do everything we can to shepherd them to Thal's realm. Also, that quest was called Bringing Out the Dead, because you gotta throw in a reference to Monty Python and the Holy Grail in the sad part of the video game. Thanks, Michael Christopher Koji Fox. Bury me not on the lone prairie. That's probably also a reference. Although we can perform rites for most of the Scions, there is one whom we cannot accept. We would like you to return this one to her people, the Sylphs of Little Solace. It is only proper that she be given into the care of her friends and family, so that they may mourn her in accordance with Sylphic traditions. That's completely fair, and entirely understandable and reasonable. Yeah, that's also true, yeah. Do you think the presence of my funny Gaelic cat wearing a cute parka is diminishing the emotional weight of any of this? There's just a silly cat and some clothing nearby all times? Actually, there's two of them, because that also describes what Sucro is. I suppose. This one is surprised to see Walking One in Little Solace. How can these ones assist Walking One? Well... Noraxia, but this one does not understand. Kumuxio, this one has heard much wailing. This one would know what has caused such distress. Terrible news, Elder One. Awful news. Walking One has returned to Little Solace, but why? These ones have not requested further aid. Well, I'm a cat. Yeah, that's also true. Noraxia, how did this happen? Explain everything to this one at once. The Empire is bad. And also killed a lot of people. And they're bad. So not only Noraxia, but many of Walking One's friends were lost as well. Noraxia went to Thanalan at the behest of this one. Walking One was with Noraxia at the end. Tell this one that Noraxia was brave. Tell this one that Noraxia did not suffer. Noraxia tried to defend someone and got kicked across the room for her trouble. I don't know about the not suffering part, but the brave part, certainly. This one is glad to hear Walking One's words. Thank you for bringing Noraxia home, Walking One. These ones also wish to thank Praying Ones. Tell Praying Ones these ones will remember this kindness. This one demands vengeance. Imperial ones must pay. Imperial ones must suffer. When the time comes for Walking Ones to face Imperial ones, do not forget these ones. These ones would not have Noraxia's death be for naught. These ones will fight. Hell yeah, I hope they're not planning on fighting by summoning Ramu, because that didn't go well for them. Well, back to church again. This is still continuing to be a lot of back and forth, but yeah, the goofy Sylph music is still playing as well. How is the volume? Because the fight music, as we've experienced, is significantly louder than everything else. So I kind of have to have the music lower so that doesn't destroy anybody. But I want the rest of the music to be audible. Is the problem there? It seems fine though? Okay. So this part of the game is continuing to have a lot of running back and forth and doing what amounts to errands, but I feel like, as I was saying, this part has a lot more meaning to it than preparing a feast in your own honor before you're allowed to take on an urgent task. Like, so I think it's okay for a game to do something like this when it has a good reason to do it. I don't know how I feel about the giant lead up to Titan and its shenanigans. It is kind of funny, and it's very funny to me that they left it in even though they reworked everything. But yeah. We thank you for your service to the church and to the sylphs. You may be pleased to know that in your absence we have interred the remaining scions in the Lich Yard. Perhaps you still wish to do more for your friends. If so, I would remind you that you've already done so much on their behalf. Now, please take a rest and set aside your burdens for now, Sukro. Ignore the man destroying bugs behind you. So, this text box, even outside of this context, I just want to take a moment to address you, the viewers, that this text box applies to you as well. You do a lot for the people that care about you and that you care about, and you need to give yourself a rest and a break now and then, because it's important to take care of yourself too. I just want you to know that. I do my best. I'm not imagining it, Sukro. I know I'm being watched.
This is different, sinister. It is as if I am under observation. The feeling comes and goes, but I felt it when I ventured outside. Yes, I know I felt it. Will you look outside for me? Please? It will only take a moment.
Who could possibly be watching Mysterious Man Marquez? Kirby Superstar. No, that's Mars. That's different. It's pretty similar to Marquez, but... Oh, I am being watched. Not for long! I wonder if I need to turn down the sound effects a little bit and then turn the music back up a tiny bit, maybe? I wonder if that would work. Like, let's just adjust these a teensy tiny bit. When you adjust the sound effects, it makes a Moogle noise. I probably won't be able to notice a difference in what I just did, and probably nobody else will be able to notice either. So maybe there's no point in doing it. Hey, there was Imperial.
You were attacked, weren't you? Are you unharmed? Thank the gods. I knew it. He was watching me. But why was he watching me? What did he want with me? Did he perhaps know something of my past? If only I could have asked him. I need to think. Please allow me a moment alone. Wait, Father Iliad must hear of this. Will you tell him for me? It's important. I think others may come for me again.
That's good. I like that. A Moogle search engine, if you would. I mean, the Moogles are also the mail system, so they've got that, kinda.
Heavens forfend, that such a thing should happen on holy ground. Do you have any idea who this man was? Did you notice anything distinctive about his garb or possessions? Did you read the name of the enemy? To gather, like, that it was an Imperial soldier? I guess they picked up a sword. A standard issue blade for all Garlean infantry. This is Garlean steel, which means the man who was watching Marquez was... Make haste to Camp Drybone at once. We must summon the immortal flames before more Imperials come.
Okay. I guess I'm not gonna have to walk there, because it's making a cutscene. Oh, it's this lad. Alphino has decided to become relevant.
I fondly hoped that I might be the first to speak with you. Would that I had been so fortunate. At ease, adventurer. I come not on behalf of the Empire. On the contrary, I mean to revive the scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Well, I mean, you do eventually become a healer, so you probably could do that.
And to that end...
Wait, are you Alphino?
I have come in search of a legend. The greatest engineer of our time, Master Cid Garland. I have come for you.
Gasp! Surprise! Alarm!
I fear you are mistaken, Shepherd.
That's your voice?
A poor soul who bore witness to the horrors at Cartano.
That's your voice. Alright, got it. File that one away.
I beg of you, leave us in peace. Wait.
I was closer with Sid. I mean Marquez.
Hear me, Sid. Eorzea needs you.
Anyone gonna pick up that wine bottle on the floor? That's a hazard. I'm gonna like sit down, maybe? He is wearing goggles under the hood, yes. Here's your box of cool stuff. I don't know how to do that
Sid,
voice.
was it? Here. These belong to you.
Your voice has changed every time you've had a line of dialogue. It's like I was voicing you all along.
I thought you bore the mark of greatness. It seems that I was right. Our time together was all too brief, but it felt as though my son had returned to me. You have brought joy to an old man's life.
Your voice is changing multiple times within the same sentence, I think. Iliad.
But it is time
I'm
for
concerned.
you to help those who truly need you.
You sound like a gremlin. Hammer. Hammer!
Who are you?
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service. As a scion of the Seventh Dawn, I stand against our primal and imperial foes, as my grandfather once did. 'Tis no secret what befell our order at the Waking Sands. Word has already spread across Eorzea. The repercussions are far greater than you realize. In the wake of the calamity, the 3 city-states focused their efforts solely on reconstruction.
Alphino here is ignoring the PvP mode where the 3 city-states are fighting each other over territory in the Cartno Flats where the calamity happened. Because PvP isn't relevant to the story, I guess.
Leaving the scions to combat the primal threat unaided. And lo, we are all but destroyed. Yet even as the nations mourn our demise and abandon what little hope they have left, we cannot forsake our duty, now least of all. The Ixal have summoned Garuda once more, and she torments the people of Kurthus as we speak.
Oh hey, Garuda. That was quick.
Her appetite for destruction far exceeds that of other primals. Worse, in her present incarnation, our Baldessian colleagues believe she surpasses both Ifrit and Titan in strength.
It's almost as if the world follows some kind of difficulty curve.
Yet, therein lies an opportunity. Were we somehow to defeat Garuda, it would serve as a warning to the other beast tribes that even their mightiest gods can be felled. If we are to face our foe, we must first circumvent the tempest that shields her sanctuary. And for that, we need an airship. Your airship, Sid.
All Sids make airships.
I have an airship?
All Sids have airships. It's the rule.
Yes, Sid, you do. Your very own airship. It was last seen in the skies over Gridania, not long before the calamity. So let us begin our search there.
Yeah, the whole beast tribes thing is a little bit yikes in general. I agree with that. And it just kind of persists because they're kind of stuck with it, I guess. I don't know what they could do instead. Probably, in this case, he probably just could have said something more general, like send a warning to people not to summon their gods or whatever.
An airship? My airship?
So do you need like an ibuprofen or something?
Wait.
I have my airship right here in this box. It's very small. Actually, it was my cool new outfit.
Come, let us put an end to the primals. Together, we will show the world that the Scions are still a force to be reckoned with.
All right. We have found Sid.
They need my airship. They need me.
That necklace looks like a flask of some kind. Like you could store a liquid inside of it. Anyone gonna pick up this wine bottle though? Like really? That could be his ibuprofen. Oh, well, you say that, but he's retained his muscle memory for things like fixing watches, so he's probably retained his muscle memory for putting on a weird glove gauntlet and various other things. Like he knows where to put the hammer on his belt. He knows how many ounces of fire sand to put in each pouch or whatever. It's just the kind of thing you remember. Whilst you were catering to the company of buffoons' every whim, I was gathering information on our feathered foe. As a result, I was not present when the Garleans came. I suppose we should be grateful for our good fortune, though it matters little should Garuda grow powerful enough to bring Eorzea to heel. Oh, Alphino.
The Enterprise. I've heard that name before, but where? It's a cool name.
What a curious twist of fate that Master Sid Garland would at last be found within our church. It defies imagination. Beg your pardon, Sucro. You wish to find his airship, yes? I know not how much truth there is to it, but there is a tale known as the final flight of the Enterprise, which grew popular in the wake of the Calamity, much like the Great Gubu Wall of Ul'dah. It states that the Enterprise flew northwest from Gridania towards Kurthus. If true, the airship would have passed through the North Shroud, likely over Falgoed Float, the closest settlement to Kurthus. Mayhap the Serpents stationed there have records of the events that transpired that day. I had hoped you might rest from your journeys for a time, but I see that the world still has need of you and the Scions. Pray look after yourself and Sid, Sucro. Time to go to Falgoed Float, I guess. I guess we're going. I could also do other things. Maybe now is a good time to line up for the Darkholds. That'll probably take a significant amount of time. Meanwhile, we can proceed until it occurs. No problem. Is there aught I can assist you with, miss? The Enterprise? You speak of Master Garland's airship, yes? I needn't refer to the records. I know that the airship was sighted overhead 5 years ago, clearly bound for Kurthus. What became of it after that, I cannot say. If you wish to know more, pray speak with Vortifart at Florentil's Spire. He was on duty that day and saw it with his own eyes. I'm unsure what it is you hope to accomplish, though. Even should you locate the ship, would you not need a man of Master Garland's caliber to fly it? I hear tell that the machinery is fiendishly complex. Yeah, that's a name. It's not a name I particularly enjoy. In fact, it's pretty bad. Let's go to the Darkhold and not think about it. Saved by the queue, as they say. This dungeon has a toad in it. Back in the day when I tried tanking, like, once. Not even that far back in the day. When I tried to do a leveling roulette as a gunbreaker, I think. It showed me in here. And and I did not remember anything about how this dungeon was, what this dungeon layout was like. At all. So I kind of, like, tanks are sort of expected to lead the way. At least to a degree, and I had no idea what I was doing. It kind of dissuaded me from trying tank more than I already had. Like, I remembered the mechanics of the fighting and stuff well enough. But I didn't remember the layout of the dungeon and how to navigate it. So, in my forced position as some kind of leader, I didn't know what to do. I guess we're going this way. Alright, you need to stand in the crystals and such. Overall, I would say that this is a kind of neat dungeon. I just associate it with not being with tank anxiety, I guess. Our party today, by the way, is Eroiton Atashi, Avenger Frostlass, good Pokemon, and Ryan Baz. I don't know why I chose to apply an accent to saying those names. Thankfully, in this dungeon, it would seem that all of us have a job and not just a class. I'm still a little concerned for that gladiator I had in Brayflox earlier. I hope she knows, or I hope she eventually figures out how to unlock Paladin. I feel a little bad for her. She was able to do the dungeon in the end, but I just hope she's doing okay. I'm inclined to worry about people I've never met, apparently. Gotta pull this creature to another crystal. Boss 1 complete. This dungeon contains some of the loot I was forced to wear a long time ago when glamoring was not available for a long time, and I was a level 40 to 50 white mage. So the outfit you had to wear in that instance was quite atrocious. Yeah, now crystals are bad. Like this Colosseum shawl that we just noticed is pretty bad, and honestly, this like just this as it is now is basically what a white mage had to wear at that level, because whatever they had for pants was basically just underwear. So I had to run around like that for a while. And there were cutscenes where it would focus on my character wearing that outfit from various angles, and it was quite something. But now Glamour is available at level 15, so everything is fine. I think it was previously available at like 50 or 60 back then. Probably 15. Plus you had to get to Mordona, I think. I might be wrong. It was a long time ago. And the land that was in the same place, because it was the same land, so it wasn't far away or anything. It was a rough time. Oh hey, I won the Colosseum shawl. I'm at a point where I need to roll greed on everything so that I have things to turn in for serpent seals. Not because I actually want any of the items, but because I can exchange them for currency. Which is important. This dungeon doesn't seem that difficult to navigate, now that I'm in it again. I was probably extra stressed due to having to tank that one time. Perhaps someday I will try tank and healer again. Perhaps not, I don't know. I think about it often, so it would seem that some part of me wants to do that. But who knows? Who can truly say what I'm thinking if I can't? Ah yes, this is one of those bosses where I think you just kill them. Instead of, Also, the boss is late to the boss room, so he has to walk in from the back. Which is pretty funny. I don't know if he's actually, like, late, but that's a funny way to think of it. So a lot of stuff happens in the background here. Oops, I did the wrong thing. But really, you just need to focus on the boss, as I recall. Yeah, exactly. That sort of thing. I mean, I guess we can use a limit break. That person saw the chance to use a big shot and they took it. I'm used to limit breaks being saved for the last boss, and I don't actually know if you need to do that ever. Like the last boss in a dungeon. Wow, harsh. You've delivered a harsh insult to this dead creature. And now he will be unable to rest in peace. I'm glad that one of the things they're fixing with Samurai is that they have to do their single target to get their buffs before they can like do multi-target stuff. Their AoE things are going to just give them those buffs, I think, in Endwalker. I don't know if I'll be playing Samurai anymore by that point, because it's just kind of a thing I wanted to try in between my starting class and the class that I enjoy the most, or enjoyed the most in the past. I kind of like Samurai, I think, but Dancer is the class I'm by far the most comfortable with, still, probably. Unless something has happened in the duration of time since I last played to make Dancer no longer comfortable. Whatever that would be. One fun thing about this game is that people think like every class is the easiest class. Probably. Like when I looked up how Samurai worked, people were like, Samurai is the easiest melee DPS. And then I looked up Dancer and they were like, Dancer is the easiest ranged physical DPS. And every class that I've claimed to be good at or like falls under the umbrella of everyone says this is one of the easiest classes in the game. So it's easy to be a little down on myself over that and be like, oh, I can only play easy characters. I'm not good at video games, blah. Because I'm not good at anything that people think is difficult. But, you know, I gotta have more faith in myself. Probably once Stormblood, or not Stormblood, but once Endwalker releases, people are going to be like, the new Summoner is the easiest magical DPS class. As soon as I start liking it. Oh, the tank died. Oh shit. Oops. You gonna be good there, Royton? Just pause a moment for our ally to revive. I suppose, to be fair to myself, people also said that, well, Dancer is one of the easiest ones to learn and to play. It's one of the harder ones to optimize. Mostly because of how much of it is based on RNG. Let's see, if I remember how this boss works. You have to destroy crystals sometimes, and that's basically all of it. Victory. Hooray. And now I suppose I should go report to the Grand Company since I did the thing. Probably means Sucro can get promoted again, actually. Britannia is weirdly empty for this server right now, unless nobody loaded. Anything is possible. Well, the NPCs haven't loaded yet, that's for sure. Welcome back, Sergeant Funk. Word of your success has already reached us. I'd guerdon you a measure of serpent seals in recognition of your loyal service. The House Dismail Knight spoke most highly of you. This will go far to improve the Order's reputation in Ishgard. Rest assured that your superiors will hear directly from me for your efforts, or of your efforts. Should you continue to serve us as you have done, I suspect a promotion is in your future. Stay true to the Wood's will, Funk, and be safe in your travels. Yay. And now, expert delivery, which just means I mash buttons for a bit. And we hear this jingle a lot. It's done now. And now I can become Chief Serpent Sergeant. Many of my promotions were off-screen. In the sight of the elementals, I hereby confer upon you the rank of Chief Serpent Sergeant. I'm pleased to inform you that, as of this moment, you're eligible to undertake a wider range of company leaves. Those exist, by the way. Go forth and do that which brings peace to the Twelveswood and honor to our name. I forget what the highest rank you can get to is. Captain, maybe? You might be able to get past Captain, I forget. So we'll eventually be Captain Funk. Wait, what do you want? Ah, Sergeant Funk, ever the shining example to your fellow servants. Time and again you've risen to the call. Today I'd give you the opportunity to add to your growing list of accomplishments. In return for the battle chocobos provided to us, the Holy See has petitioned our aid in purging the cavern known as the Arum Vale of its most foul inhabitants. Wait, Arum Vale again? Our contact from Ishgard, Sir Williams, will apprise you of the particulars of the mission upon your arrival. Why Arum Vale again? But why? Oh well, that can wait for later. Because, I have played for 3.5 hours today, which is not a bad stream length. And I think that's probably about time to call it for now. Hopefully, as usual, I'll be able to stream more often. But thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you to the newcomers, especially, for giving me a chance. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. If you would like to support me, there's various links you can find below. There's subscribing and whatnot, but you don't have to, of course. And you can always spread the word if you enjoyed it. You know, all of those standard internet actions that you can perform in order to support people. Most of them are there. So yeah, thank you all for watching. And I hope all of you have a very nice rest of your day. Heck, have a nice rest of your week. Rest of your year. Rest of your life, even. Just have good times. That's my hope for all of you. So, until next time. Good night, everyone.